Welcome to the West Ham Daily. Thank you all for joining me. Today's show is a comparison between two players that we're linked with. Now, we know the rumours are quite strong with Jesse Lingard. We know he's the #1 target for David Moyes. But there have been constant rumours going around about Aaron Ramsey looking at coming back to the Premier League, and we've been linked to him. So I thought, okay, well, why not do a bit of a comparison and look at the two players from the time they started their careers, and try and do a bit of a comparison to see which of the two are, have had a better career up to now. So looking at Aaron Ramsey first, he started off in the Cardiff youth system, 28 appearances, 3 goals, 3 assists, and he got his big money transfer in 2008 when he went to Arsenal for £5.8 million. Now, in his time at Arsenal, he made 371 appearances, scoring 65 goals, 65 assists. And then Juventus came knocking on the door when Ramsey didn't sign a new contract with Arsenal. And they came knocking on the door in 2019. And he moved to them on a free transfer. Now, in his time at Juventus, he's made 65 appearances, 6 goals, 6 assists. And the number of transfer rumours at the moment are quite numerous. There's teams like Aston Villa are apparently in for him, Everton, West Ham, etc. There's an awful lot of talk about Aaron Ramsey coming back to the Premier League. He's made 64 appearances for Wales and scoring 16 goals in total. But the thing with Ramsey is that he's on a whopping 400 grand a week, apparently, at Juventus. So I don't think any team in the Premier League, well, there might be 1 or 2 teams in the Premier League that will be able to pay that. But would West Ham go that far? Our ceiling for salaries is usually about 100 grand, 120 grand a week. So 400 grand a week is a massive increase, unless, of course, Ramsey decides to take a massive decrease in his salary. But this season alone, Ramsey has made 30 appearances for Juventus, scoring 2 goals with 5 assists. So let's look at Jesse Lingard. Well, we know he's come through the Manchester United youth system. He made 59 appearances for the Manchester United under-18s and under-23s, scoring 17 goals with 20 assists. And it's not a transfer, is it? But he got promoted to the senior squad. So let's compare that to Ramsey's youth with Cardiff. 3 goals and 3 assists. You can see that Lingard had the better time of it in the youth system. So Lingard was promoted to the senior squad. And he made 210 appearances for Man United with 33 goals and 20 assists. We'll look back at Ramsey with 371 appearances, 65 goals, 65 assists. But then you throw in the Juventus time, 65 appearances with only 6 goals. You can sort of say ratio, Lingard slightly had the better of it, roughly about the same, I would say, overall. And then you look at England's appearances for Lingard. Now, I was really surprised. I thought Lingard had scored more goals for England. But in 29 appearances, he's only scored 4 times. So you could see that Ramsey has had the better number of appearances and the better number of goals. But the big difference, I guess, is Lingard, if he came to West Ham, we know he'd want a slight increase in his salary. He'd be looking at about 100. We'd probably have to pay him about 120 grand a week. And then you look at his stats for this season. When you compare him to Ramsey, 16 goals for West Ham, 9 goals. Sorry, 16 appearances for West Ham, 9 goals, 5 assists. In comparison to the 30 appearances for Ramsey at Juventus with 2 goals and 5 assists. So one could argue that the time he's had at Juventus really hasn't quite worked out for Aaron Ramsey. I guess if you're going to pay a player 400 grand a week, you expect an awful lot more in return. But what about fitting into our system? Well, we've seen what Lingard does for West Ham, sort of primarily starting off on the left and cutting in, and the runs he makes, etc., etc. Now, Aaron Ramsey's clearly got a lot of energy. He's clearly got, at 30 years of age, you could see what he did for in the game he played for Wales the other day. He's still got a lot to offer. But will he fit into the system more than Jesse Lingard would at West Ham? I'm kind of thinking not, which is why I think I'm a little bit surprised at this transfer rumor. It's just one of those transfer stories that you keep looking at and you keep thinking to yourself, it's a nice to have. But when you sort of look at the player that David Moyes wants, we know he primarily wants Jesse Lingard. But would Aaron Ramsey fit into the equation? I don't think so. I don't think, first of all, Aaron Ramsey's going to get that much money if he comes to the Premier League. Like I said, there's only a couple of teams that are probably willing to pay him that sort of salary. And so he himself knows if he leaves Juventus, he's going to have to take a massive drop in salary. But how much of a drop would you take? He might take 100 grand less, 150 grand a week less, maybe even 200 grand a week less. That still tops way over what West Ham United will pay any of their players in the senior team. So I think it's one of those rumours that is just, well, it's clearly just a rumour and nothing more than that. You cannot imagine Aaron Ramsey coming in and just even fitting into the style of play. Certainly a decent stats over the seasons, and you kind of you think Lingard would be the more effective. Of course, Lingard will be by far the cheapest, but that's not it's not just the only reason for bringing a player in. He's got to fit into a system, and I think Lingard has proven that he fits into the West Ham system over someone like Aaron Ramsey. My apologies again for the 5 minutes of silence. I did say it's going to be a short show, so let's see what we've got. Who's in the chat? Good afternoon, James. Lingard all day, absolutely. Toby, hello mate, no brainer for me. Lingard all day. Afternoon to you. Hey, nut twister. Who's the nut twister? Is that Spanner? Very well done. Howard, hello mate. Ligardinho, absolutely. Yama's just scored again, has he? I've not been watching today, so I've missed out on that. I mean, Yarmolenko, he'll come back to West Ham and get injured. Trev Tube, hello mate. Another afternoon all. Another vote for Lingard. And now Yarmolenko's down injured. And then all of you started to tell me no sound, and I do apologise for that. I've got to work that one out, haven't I? Just turn off mute. It's not difficult. I've done it again, Ian. I know I have. Caden, hello mate. Very well. I hope you are too. Alens, hello to you as well. Yeah, I know. Caden, we need one of those deaf signers stood behind him. I like that. It's a good idea. Stu, hello mate. Are we gonna get a bloke pop up in the corner doing hand signals? I know. You've all told me I'm on mute. And Trev, you're trying to work out what I said. I think he said okay. He thinks Ramsey's okay. No spring chicken, but put his thumbs up a lot in the photos. Irish Tommy, hello mate. So you need someone in the top corner doing sign language. I mean, it's such a because. Okay, let me explain very, very briefly. I use these for my work laptop. So most of the time when we're in massive bloody Zoom meetings, we're all asked to go on mute. So I naturally just put it on mute. I've just got to remember to take it off mute when I come on here. Susan, hello. Yes, I hope you can hear me now. I've done it again. Absolutely. Thank you all for letting me know. Yarmolenko, 1 goal, 1 assist with treatment in between. God, Yarmo, just give us 1 season without getting injured. I wonder what it would be like if he just gave us 1 season. El Arestelio. Hello to you as well. Geelong video guy. You speak Greek. You speak the colloquial Cypriot Greek as well. Howard Els, I'm a legend. Yeah, when you can't hear me, I'm a bigger legend. Irish Tommy, goal and assist for Yarmo so far today. Oh, please Give us one season, Yarmolenko, of not being injured. Just one season. That would be great. Gary Ramsey played well yesterday. Absolutely, he didn't. And I think that's the reason why I decided to do this brief video, just to say, he did play well. He's clearly a talent. I mean, goodness, if Juventus are going to pay him 400 grand a week, they must have seen something that they liked whilst he was at Arsenal. There's no denying, Premier League experience. He did the business for Arsenal. He was obviously clearly one of their better players. You don't go to Juventus at 400 grand a week if you're crap. But at the age he's at now, certainly he'll bring West Ham a lot of experience, but that salary, I mean, if we got him down, I'll ask you guys a question. If we got him down to 100 grand a week, and if he came to us for nothing, would you take him alongside, not instead of, but um, uh, alongside Lingard? Because that would be quite a formidable midfield with the two of them. We kind of hear that there are certain players that want to leave West Ham. We're talking about we're talking about who is he? See, I'm no good when it comes to names. We got players that probably want to leave. Manuel Lanzini. Let's talk about him going. Let's talk about Anderson maybe leaving West Ham as well. Look at Yarmolenko doing really well in the Euros, but always injury prone. So we do need more players in midfield. But Ramsey's got a contract with Juventus until 2023, so they're not likely to want to let him go for nothing. They're going to want something back. He's worth about maybe 12, 15 million pounds, but it's that salary. It's that salary. What would we do with that salary? Would Ramsey come back to West Ham, say for 15 million pounds, and say no problem at all? I'll take 100 grand a week. I don't know. It's an odd one. It's a strange one. Toby can't see a place for Ramsey in the team. Souček, Rice in midfield would lose mobility and pace. That's a really good point. Daniela, how are you? He's going to have to lower his wages. Absolutely. Robert, sing when you're muted. You sing when you're muted. I hope you can hear me now. Toby, no way we'll pay more than 110 grand a week. That's exactly it. We wouldn't pay any more than about that sort of money. Gary thought Arsenal were mad to let him go. I think he kind of saw the money, didn't he? And he thought to himself, no, why stay if Arsenal are not going to give me more money? On comparison, it's Lingard from Daniela. Why not both, Clive? Well, just said that. Why not both? Well, I mean, I don't think Moyes is going to want to spend, maybe up to 20 million pounds on Lingard and maybe up to 15 million pounds on Ramsey. And then pay them both high wages when he's thinking about he's got to get a striker in. He's already said priorities are a striker, attacking midfielder, and a centre back. So that's where he's going to focus on. If they both came in, I still think it's a lot of money for 15 million for a 30-year-old. I think that would be the problem with it. Irish Tommy, no chance we're going to sign Ramsey. Far too high wages. Very much doubt he's even on Moyes' radar. And this is what I think, Tommy. We keep joking about all these transfer rumours, but they keep popping up and they keep popping up. And sometimes I feel like being the person that says, just forget about this because it's just, nothing makes sense about this transfer. He's a decent player, absolutely. But he's 30 years of age. He's a midfielder that, even Toby had just said it's going to crowd out that midfield. Doesn't necessarily have an awful lot of pace. You can see Lingard is a faster player. He fits into our system far better as well. So I agree, Tommy. Father Snowman, sorry I'm late. Well, Father Snowman, don't worry. I've been on for nearly 20 minutes, but the first 5 minutes were on mute again. So you haven't missed much, mate. Let's scroll down and see. Good afternoon, Kent. You were going to say something there. RA for what? I'm not sure. Racer, hello there. Lingard has shown us what he can do. Ramsey won't fit into the system Moyes is building. Kent, Ramsey's injuries worry me. Yeah, that's another good point. Clive, Ramsey is a great player, but no, Lingard is a better option. Absolutely. Geelong, Moyes is all about value for money. He's tuned into the reality of the situation and knows club has limits. Absolutely. But I think there are a few clubs that are going to splash the cash. For some reason, Aston Villa got more money than sense at the moment. So they might turn around and go to Aaron Ramsey. You come to us, we'll give you 250 grand a week and come and play for us. It seems that Villa seems to be doing what the Icelandics were trying to do when they owned our club, or what Pellegrini tried to do. Splash out the cash on all these players that aren't necessarily going to fit into a system. But that's their problem, isn't it? Not ours. Kent, it's silly season for transfer rumours. It's going to get worse. It's going to get a lot worse. Lingard for me, absolutely. I think Lingard is the best option. It kind of goes without saying. So when you read these rumours, and there's so many other rumours that are knocking around at the moment, it's really difficult to try and sort of separate the wheat from the chaff. What's good, what's not good, and you can see. As I said, Ramsey's a decent player, but you can see straight away that transfer rumor just doesn't have a lot of legs. Marcus, Lingard all day for me, absolutely. Gary, Lingard as well, absolutely. Toby, yes, Trife, I didn't see you in here. Who's Trife? Geelong, Lingard makes a lot more sense. Absolutely. James Sawyer, hello, mate. Glad you joined. If Juve had paid a transfer fee, his salary wouldn't be 400 grand. Ironclad. That's a really good point. His salary wouldn't have been 400 grand. I totally agree. Good afternoon, Victor. I hope you're well. No chance of Ramsey. 400 grand a week. Absolutely. Robert Singleton, I'm only human after all, but don't blame me. You're singing about me being on mute. Marcus, get some post-it notes to remind you for when you're going to do weekly. I remember what times and days I'm doing them. I just got to remember to unmute myself, mate. James, I don't think Yama is a Moyes type player. He doesn't work hard enough with the ball. I think he actually is a Moyes type player. I just think he worries that he gets injured too much. But I actually do think he is because I know what you're saying, James, but I think we're going to need backup strikers next season without a shadow of a doubt. We know Antonio keeps going out injured all the time. We know Yarmolenko keeps going out injured all the time. We might only buy one striker, and Moyes might hope that between Yarmolenko and Antonio, they'll fill in the gaps between them. I do actually think he is. I get what you mean, though. When he plays out wide, Moyes wants him to drop back a bit like what Bowen does. And maybe Yarmolenko doesn't do it often enough, but we have seen him do it. We've certainly seen him do it. But that's where he gets injured, because I think someone mentioned the other day, Yarmolenko is kind of playing. He just stays up front for Ukraine. He doesn't do an awful lot of tracking back, and maybe because of that, he gets less injuries. Don't know. Racer, I would take him on a free transfer. I would consider it, but given that the salary, as we spoke about, would be a hindrance, and the fact that he's got a contract with Juve till 2023, I don't think that would happen. Unless, of course, Juve just want to get him off the wage bill, and then they might let him go for nothing. Racer, again, he would be good in the Europa League. Yeah, agree with that. Kent Hammer, I'd sign Ramsey if it was a performance-related contract. Good shout, but I think that would be I think he would turn around and go, I need a salary. I need maybe a basic of, I don't know, 100 grand a week, and if I do well, 50 grand bonus or whatever. But what that would do is it would throw the whole team out, the rest of the squad. That would make the rest of the squad go, hang on a minute, we've got a 30-year-old guy here coming in on this bonus-related scheme, already being paid a basic salary, and then it would ruffle the feathers of several other players. I think I understand what you're saying, though, Kent. Trev, all good. Just taking a break. Work from listening to the legend that is still. Well, you couldn't hear me for the first 5 minutes, mate. James Bong, still that 400 grand a week was subsidised by the free. I know, James. Yeah, I know, but that's what he's getting. Patrick, I reckon 150 would be his marker. Good shout. Might be 150 grand a week. Might be his marker, but even that would be too much for West Ham when they have a ceiling of around about. I mean, I think Yarmolenko, we just mentioned him. I think he's on about 115 grand a week, and I think he is now the top paid player. I think now that Hilaire's gone, I think Hilaire might have been on about the same. Harley the Salami, hello mate. What do you think of Alexei Miranchuk from Atlanta? Doing nicely in the Euros. I don't know, mate. I've got to be honest with you. I haven't noticed. I don't know. I don't even know what national team is playing for. I'm kind of guessing it will be. I don't know. Would it be Ukraine or would it be Russia? I don't know. But thank you for that. Yarmo's also having solid. He's having a great Euros. But as we keep saying, he's got to stay fit in the Premier League. Gary, we've got a few players now at the club that are 30 or over. That is a really, really good point. And we've got the second highest average age squad in the Premier League. So we've got to get that down. Harley, Miranchuk is a good backup option in my opinion. I need to look into him, mate. I'm embarrassed that I don't know who he plays for. James Sawyer, I think whoever Moyes signs besides Lingard, who we all want, it will be a surprise. Do you know what, James? I 100% agree with you. All these stories, I think I mentioned it the other day, all these stories that are coming out, we're linked with this player, that player, and the other player, and then Moyes will just go, there you go. What about this one? And we'll all go fair play. Well, hope we go fair play. He hasn't done us wrong so far, has he, Moyes, in his second spell at West Ham? Trev Tube, what about Ramsey's teammate Kiefer Moore? Might as well start a new rumour. There you go. Why not? Scott, hello, mate. Lingard all day long. Ironclad, more chance of Kiefer Sutherland. More chance of Gordon Ramsay. Here you all go. It's the happy hour. Geelong, I like the Czech team. Maybe one more coming. Well, we think so. We know that David Moyes and David Sullivan were at the Czech game. Maybe they were scouting one or two Scottish players, but I would say they were probably keeping their eye on a few Czech Republic players. Geelong, look at our back catalogue of videos because I did a video, I think, on Monday talking about Moyes and I can't remember what title I gave it, but something like Moyes and Sullivan check out players or something like that. So have a look at the back catalogue. Victor Fenn, at Ramsey's age, he'll want to play, not sit on the bench. That's another good point, Victor. Absolutely. Tommy, Yama pull a hamstring getting off the plane. He would. That's the problem with him. Vinay, no more old gits. And I agree with that as well. Right, one more. Miranchuk is Russian, but playing for Atalanta, 8 goals and 3 assists in 30 games last season. Thank you, Harley. I appreciate that. I did watch the Russian game last night, and so I should have remembered that he was it last night? Should have remembered that he was on. We'll check it out later. Thank you for that. And by the way, Geelong, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, apart from the fact that I always mute myself for the first 5 minutes, do subscribe, and you might hear me and the other guys actually talking instead of being on mute. Richard, hello, mate. Ramsey will be another Wiltshire acquisition because I'm so injury prone. Thank you for that. Thank you, people, for watching. Short and sweet. 27 minutes, and the first 5 were wasted, so I'll edit that out. So thank you all for watching. Much appreciated for getting involved, as you usually do. We might do another show tonight. I don't know. I'm going to have to speak to Anton. But if not, then maybe do another show. We will be back tomorrow on Friday. So thank you all for joining. Much appreciated. And we'll see you all soon.